Well, it still seems weird to say as we continue here live at the World MMA Awards in Vegas, but UFC analyst Jimmy Smith right here with me, Jim Gries.
A lot of the UFC. That been happening. But yeah, I get that. I understand completely.
Oh. And you, I mean, God, what about when you're calling the fights, man? Do you ever did you catch yourself almost saying Bellator?
No. You know what is hard? Octagon. Octagon is hard because when you're in Bellator, you're not able to say Octagon at all.
At all.
And so I have to train myself to. That was the hard part. Not mixing up promotions, but Octagon and Cage. Octagon. That's the hard part.
Man, I got to tell you a funny story. It's not really that funny, but it's a good story. Back in the day, I was doing a show called The Power MMA Show with Ryan Bader on KTAR, and one of the sponsors that they brought into the station nationally was Bellator MMA, and really it was Spike TV who was the client, right? You and I actually voiced commercials together without voicing them together. So I would get your part.
Right.
That would come in the email. I'd go in the studio, I'd cut my part, and I was cutting commercials with Jimmy Smith, who was then Bellator MMA analyst, color commentator, but you had no idea.
Wow, because I remember doing part of those audios. They would take us into the truck, the production truck that does all the stuff. There's like, the end of it is for recording. That's a little recording booth and everything, and they go, say these lines. And I'm like, all right, sure. And
I think they were 90s. I don't even think they were 60s. They might have been even 2 minutes.
Yeah, about that, yeah. So they wouldn't tell me what they were for. They would just have me read these little sound bites, and then here's the other half of the soundbite. That happens all the time, but yeah, that's what they did.
I wouldn't say the other half, because here's Jimmy's part, and they'd say fill in the blanks, and there'd be about 30 seconds left.
Don't be like that, bro.
It wasn't you, it was the script.
I'm incomplete without you. All right, come on, don't be like that.
It was the script. It wasn't your fault, man.
Gotcha.
But it made the commercial better. More you, less me. But it was a lot of fun. But it was Spike TV, and it was just as Bellator was really starting to take off. And I know you have a lot of pride in what's been going on over there, even though you're not there 100%. Anymore. Everybody wants to be in the UFC at some point, and you couldn't resist the opportunity. But I know you're really proud of the work that you did with Bellator.
Yeah, very much. When anybody asks me about my performance in the UFC, or man, you're really killing the UFC, and it's like, I've been doing this for 10 years. I mean, a long time. Started with M1, did the 2 Affliction shows, then went to Bellator, and there's no such thing as overnight success. There's no such thing. So all the reps and all the fights and everything I did to lead up to this point, made me what I am now. And everybody over at Bellator, great people, great fighters, great crew. They're outstanding. And the UFC and Bellator, what people don't understand is, production-wise, all those guys have worked together at some point or another. They know one another a lot of times. So it's funny, when I went over to the UFC, a lot of people, were going to say, hey, say hi to so-and-so for me, man. I remember him. And so it's really been great. Great transition for me.
It's like you and Goldie traded places, but you worked together a little bit, and now he's got Big John. Jimmy Smith, last one for you, because the red carpet is long and people are waiting. But I really love the MMA awards, because I was talking to Goldie about this. There are no company lines here. It's just the sport. And for guys like you, I mean, when Joe Rogan says, hey, Jimmy, come on over and let's bring this guy in, that's unbelievable. I mean, I introduce motivational speakers as one of my side gigs, and one of the real true things that you can tell where someone is super successful and comfortable is when they advocate for others and when they want to see other people succeed. And it would have been easy for Joe to go, hey, I don't need a guy like this who's that good in here, but he talked about how great you are and he wants to bring you in, which is what real successful people do. But when we're here in Vegas, there is no UFC, there is no Bellator, not at the World MMA Awards. It's just the sport, and I love that.
People don't train just with UFC fighters. It doesn't work. The Bellator guys, UFC guys, they all train together. All the managers, they rep both guys. Like I said, all the production people have worked together at some point or another. So the division, to me, a lot of times is in the minds of the fans. In the minds of the industry, the people in it, there really isn't that division at all. And so, we're all trying to make the sport better. And the Bellator fighters, they train with the UFC guys, and it's not like there's a separate side of the gym. They're going at it.
Yeah, and it's fight week, your first one. I know you got a big night coming up on Friday. Thanks for being here with me, man. Always good to see you.
Always good to see another Jimmy, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good job on those spots, by the way.
Thank you. You were fantastic. You really buttoned them and made them great.
All right, thank you, man. Good seeing you. Jimmy Smith here at the World MMA Awards in Vegas. Bellator to the UFC.